Hi Bromies, it's your boy Ricky here with Bromero Cards. I hope you're doing well today. Today's video is actually from a company that I'd heard of but never really experienced, and now I am obsessed, mainly with their kits and their stencil sets. So I kind of bumped into Tailored Expressions by accident. My friend Liz was telling me about this company, and I'd heard of them, but never really knew exactly about them. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I was on their Facebook page, and I saw this amazing stencil set that I freaking loved. It was something called Outdoors, Great Outdoors, I believe, and I was obsessed with it. Of course, it was like a limited edition stencil set. I couldn't get it, I don't think, or I had to wait a little bit. So I actually found someone that really didn't care for it, so they sold it to me. So I did buy that, and I did make some cards with it, and I think I have a video coming out soon with that. But this most recent one, I got a kit called Love Grows Here, and it comes with a stencil stamp set. It came with dies. It comes with a bunch of stuff. So check the links down below, and I'll send you a link to the kit that was sold. But I made these cards. With this kit, I made 19 cards in probably about 2 hours. And I was obsessed with them. I made all different kinds of cards. In this video, you're going to see me make these 2 cards. And I'm going to be using the kit. There's going to be some other products here. I did use some products from Hero Arts and Honeybee Stamps, because we need to be able to use all different companies within a card, so that we get all the uses out of our stash, because we tend to get new things and forget about old stuff. So I decided to bring in a few newer things that I received from other companies to make these cards. So like, for instance, this card has the wood grain embossing folder from Honeybee Stamps. And this one has this kind of wall brick situation stamp here from Hero Arts that I just got. So I'm going to show you how to make these cards. Use some other things in your stash, because it's okay to mix companies. When I'm doing crafting for myself and having fun and having a good time when I'm not working for another company, I tend to do this because I like to mix my products, and I like, not every company has every product that you can imagine in a card. So that's why it's great to have multiple companies, multiple stamp situations, multiple ink colors, all the things, but use them all together, because that's what makes great cards. So make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, or subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it, but also click that bell so that you know a new video is coming out. So let's go ahead and get started making these cards. Okay, so like I said previously, this is a kit that I purchased from Tailored Expressions. It is no longer in stock. I'm sorry, you guys. I believe the only thing that's left is the dies for the sentiments. So sorry about that. We have the Honeybee Stamps embossing folder here, and then we have the Hero Arts stamp set here that contains different kinds of patterns, walls, streets, and all that great stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the sentiment stamped out. And this is red rubber stamp, which is pretty great. You're going to remove the foam out of your MISTI so that you could go ahead and get this stamped out. And I'm just using some VersaFine Clear ink here. This is really great on red rubber stamps. Usually you get a pretty good stamp the first time that you stamp out the sentiments with this. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and place all the sentiments onto the cardstock here so that we can get all this cut out. And then I'm just going to tape up all of this so that they don't move from the die cutting machine. It's a lot of tape, but you know what? Just get it done. Now that we have these all cut out, I'm just going to take all of them out from the dies and take a look at what we have here. I did do several rounds of it because I ended up making a total of 19 cards. from this session here. So I'm just seeing what I have left here and what I need and all that great stuff. Now I'm going to make some backgrounds here. I'm using some distressed spray here. I believe these are from like special releases from the holidays from Tim Holtz. This is Mica Stain. And I'm just doing a little bit of splashing here just to give a little bit of detail to the background. I end up doing a purple one, and I do a green and yellowish one as well. And then we'll see that. As you can see, it's all over my hands. I can't believe I'm still making cards with my hands. That gross. Especially when all of them are going to be pretty much all white cards. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this little sentiment rectangle here, and I'm just going to use the same VersaFine ink, and we're going to stamp that out into the middle of the panel. I'm just going to show you some of the samples of the panels that I did so that you have an idea of what you can do with this. I made these very plain and simple cards because I was able to mass produce so many of them in like such a small amount of time. Here we have like the greenish yellowish one that I did with the splashing, and I'm using that wall, that brick wall from the Hero Art stamp, and what I end up doing is placing the plant on that like as if it's a shelf. So I'm doing the same thing for the purple, and there we go. And then I just did all the backgrounds at one time. All right, here's the fun part. We're going to be using these stencils to create all the plants and all the planters for the cards here. So I'm going to take this first stencil. On the left-hand side, you're going to see like the solid image of the plant. On the right side of this, stencil is the details of the plant. I'm going to use some Concord and Ninth inks here. I'm going to be using, what is this, lemongrass, I believe? I can't remember. But we are going to go ahead and get that placed onto the cardstock. I did use some Post-it tape on the right-hand side so that I don't get any green on that side. And I'm just going to get all of this blended in so that everything is nice and green. All right, and now I'm going to move, it's Sprout. Now I'm going to move over the details of the plants here, and then we will be using parsley for this. And I will also make sure that I have the tape on the side so that nothing gets over onto that other piece of paper or on the other side of the paper. Then I'm just going to take this and we're going to do some ink blending and do the darker parts of the details of the flowers or plants here. Nothing really hard. It's pretty great that everything's on one stencil. You don't have to go back and forth trying to find them. Okay, now what we're going to do is the pots, and I'm going to be using some Dove from Concord of the Ninth and Black from Concord of the Ninth. Again, I'm just going to use this Post-it tape here so that we don't get any of the other color on the side of the plants. And then I'm just going to take this gray and I'm going to fill all of this in with gray. And I also did several other colors. I think I did orange plants as well. I think we'll see throughout the video because I believe I showed some of the cards I made. All right, now that we have the gray done, we are going to do the details of the pots. And we're just going to move that stencil over. We're going to tape that down to make sure that none of the black gets over on the other side of the plants. And then we're just going to take this miniature blending brush and then we will do the black. And the black is a little crazy here. It's really dark and it's really juicy. So we're going to just kind of use the ink that is on the stencil. We don't want to bring over too much ink because we need to use all that ink. We don't want to waste it, right? Okay, and when I pull this up, we want to be careful. There we go. And as you can see, that top left-hand corner, it was bad. So I just redid it. I didn't like it. I put too much ink down and that's just how it went. So as you can see here, I did some orange pots as well. We're going to cut this in half, and then I'm going to use these dies on the left to cut this out. I'm having a little issue cutting this paper, I think because it was just so thick. All right, so we're going to take the first die here, and we're going to put this down, lay it down. And then we'll tape it up and then run it through the die cutting machine so that we can get all those cut out. Now the good thing about these dies, if you can see, there's squares on where you line up the die, and the squares go in the center of the square on the die. All right, so we have these cut out, and we're going to go ahead and run these through the die cutting machine. And I actually decided to just do one because the other one was a little bit too close to the edge, and I wasn't for sure if it was actually gonna cut out. So here we have all the little pieces of the pots here. And then we'll take away or take off this die cutting, or this die, and take out all the plants from this. And as you can see, there's like 6 plants and 6 potting plants all together at one time. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut the shelf out of this rectangle that comes with the kit, and I'm just going to cut all of these shelves out. This isn't hard. It's a little bit time consuming because I have a lot of shelves and only one die. I probably had another die I could have used as well to run through several of them to just have maybe different size shelves, but you know, that's okay, it's fine. Now we're going to take this wood grain embossing folder from Honeybee Stamps, and we will place all of these little shelves inside. And it doesn't really matter if they're even or not because it's wood, it's not going to look perfect, but we'll run that through the die cutting machine. And then when we come back, they'll all look nice and pretty. Look at that. They all look like nice pieces of wood. Super nice. I love that, the texture. I wanted to add a little bit of more texture to these shelves, so I'm just going to take some ground espresso here, and I'm just going to use the plastic from the foam or from the embossing folder and just get a little bit of this ink onto the wood just to give it a little bit of dimension. I wanted the wood grain to show a little more on the shelves, and we're just going to do that for each one of these pieces. Okay, now we have all the pots and all the plants together. We did several different colors here. And now I'm just going to use some foam tape, and we are going to place the wood shelf onto the card base. And then we will cut off that extra little piece and place it in the middle there. Well, a little bit less than the middle. We'll use some liquid glue and place the first pot onto the plant. My hands are still super dirty, you guys. And then we are going to use another color here and a different plant and place that onto the card. Now that we have those plants done, we are going to start putting this card together. And there we go. I'm placing the shelf onto the card. And then I'm just going to use this same foam tape and place the plants on top of the shelf here. And this is just one of the cards I made like this. There were many with shelves. I think this is the only one that I did double plants on and double stamping of the word backgrounds. I just thought it was really unique, and I thought it was really cool to have this stamp set. It's really neat. I like the whole kit was pretty amazing. It caught my eye instantly, and especially when I saw some of the samples of the other creators making them. And then we already had our sentiments all cut out, so we're just placing the foam tape on the back of that. And then we'll just remove the backing, and there we go. That is our first card. Love that. Oh, guess it wasn't even, so I needed to make it even. There we go. Life is short, buy more plants. Love this. Okay, and for our second card, we're pretty much doing the same thing here, you guys. We're just going to put some plant together along with its pot. And I decided to use this brick wall as if it was a shelf. It kind of reminded me of like Egypt or Rome or something like that. We'll put some foam tape on the back of that, and then we're going to put the sentiment on. And you guys, this card will be done too. And like I said, I made 19 cards in about 2 hours using this kit. So I definitely got my money's worth. I will put a link down to the Taylor Expression store. I hope you guys will go over and just take a look at the store. It's pretty amazing. You can sign up for a membership for the kit, and they have these quad stencils that you can purchase as well and go from there. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. Please find me over on Instagram and YouTube by searching for Bomero Cards. And then also check out the links down in the description to find out all the products that I used. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.